Good evening, Kenton community. My name is Sabatino Samato. I'm your superintendent, and this is your weekly Connection update. I really encourage you to check out the Connection this week. Just to review the sections again, there's first an update from me. There's several stories in there. Then we get into our safety tips for families. We get into our school and district highlights, and we finish off with our recognition. Let's get a little bit deeper so that you can understand some of these stories in this update. First, under me, you'll see that 37th annual Jerry Star Sleepout. Of course, we've been talking about this for weeks. We highlight the event. The majority of the Star family was there in attendance. And really, this section just talks about how all of our staff did such a wonderful job raising money for a great cause. All of our students, really check out that section. Then advocating on behalf of our students, I was honored, I was privileged this past week to travel to Albany with our Board of Education to really, it was all about advocacy with our legislators and focusing on how they could continue to help the Village of Kenmore, the town of Tonawanda, the Kenton School District, and really focusing on the needs of our families, our kids, our schools. Check out that section. Then we go on to educating students about local government. We were honored to have Mr. Mark Polenkars, our Erie County executive, over at the Big Picture program this week. I apologize, I was in Albany, Mr. Polenkars, that's why I couldn't be there, but I hear you did a tremendous job. That's what this story focuses on. It all came about because a student wrote a letter to Mr. Polenkars requesting his presence, and he was very happy to oblige, and you could read about that story there. Then we get into celebrating Black History Month, and this week we celebrate Mr. Leland Newton Jones Jr., who was the first African American to be elected to the Buffalo Common Council. Mr. Jones was born in Buffalo and attended Buffalo Technical High School. That has a pretty soft spot in my heart. That school later became Hutchinson Central Technical High School, where I'm sure many of you know I was previously the principal of. Really read this story. Mr. Jones served the U.S. Army during World War II. Great story. Great history in our history, and as we celebrate Black history here in Kenton. Safety tips for families. And this week, it's a little bit common sense, a lot about being safe to avoid burns, but some of these tips here, how do we avoid burning ourselves, burning our skin, reviewing that with kiddos. I know that seems like it's something that should be common sense from the time that they're little kids. But trust me, it all makes a difference when we review these safety tips. So there's a little tip for you to do there. School and district highlights. Kenmore West production of Cinderella continues today and tomorrow. Health teacher earns Teacher of the Year distinction. Kenmore East holds 16th annual Midwinter Wingding Classic. Schools partner with Rotary Club of Kenmore to help eradicate polio. Franklin and Hoover Middle students take part in Kenmore East Civics Convention. Mobile Planetarium helps Lindbergh students learn about the solar eclipse. Franklin Elementary observes Global Schools Play Day on February 7th. Kenmore West String Ensemble players perform for Hoover Middle students. Kenmore East girls basketball team holds Staff Appreciation Night. Hoover Elementary students enjoy book-themed activities at Literacy Night. And finally, students celebrate National Hot Chocolate Day on January 31st. And that brings us to our recognition. And we have two of them this week. First, our school resource and school safety officers. Next week, February 15th, is recognized as a special day for these individuals. I'm asking all of our students to just see our SROs, our school safety officers, our parents, when you see them, just say thank you. They're such a tremendous asset to our school communities, and we recognize them next week for all of that service that they do. And our second recognition, none other than our bus drivers and transportation staff. Folks, take the time to just say hello, good morning, good evening, especially thank you for all of the work that they do, making sure that our kiddos are safe each and every day. That department led by Mr. Graham Violino. The entire staff just doing a great job this year. We know that we've had some bumps in the road. We also know that this department probably resembles the best of the best when it comes to when they're being short and people stepping up to the plate to do whatever it takes to get the job done for our kiddos. That we actually celebrate this day during the February break on February 22nd. So we're going to designate as a district next Friday, February 16th, as the day that we have a special thank you for our transportation staff, our bus drivers. That brings us to the end of the connection. And folks, I will tell you, we're way into February already, and we got to keep going. We know before we know it, it'll be spring. We always talk about continue to work strong. This is probably the most difficult time of the year to continue that mindset of being strong. But I promise you, together, we can do this together. That makes us Kenton strong. It absolutely develops that Kenton pride, and it will help us keep moving Kenton forward. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful weekend.